Picture this. It's 2008. The economy is collapsing. People are losing their homes, investment portfolios are getting obliterated, and somewhere in Wisconsin, a guy who pumps septic tanks just had his best year ever. While investment bankers were scrambling to update their resumes, he bought his second vacation home in cash. And here's the wild part. This isn't some feel-good anomaly. There's an entire category of businesses that operate in this weird economic dimension where recessions barely touch them, where competition stays mysteriously low, and where failure rates hover around 5% instead of the usual 50%. But nobody talks about them at parties because they're not sexy. They're not Instagram-worthy. They're just obscenely profitable. There's a specific pattern to these businesses that most people completely miss, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. My name is Megan. I'm an accountant, and here I share smart financial tips that anyone can implement today. If you've ever wondered why some people quietly build wealth while others chase the next shiny business idea into the ground, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button if this information helps you out. Now, before we dive into these businesses, let me paint you a picture of what we're actually dealing with. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, about 50% of new businesses fail within the first 5 years. Half. You've got better odds at a casino. But there's this cluster of industries where the math flips completely upside down. We're talking 85 to 95% survival rates over the same period. And I've spent an embarrassing amount of time analyzing what makes them different. Here's what actually happens. Most people start businesses based on passion or trend chasing. They open boutique fitness studios, artisanal coffee shops, tech startups, app-based services. Beautiful, Instagram-worthy ventures that require constant innovation, marketing, and prayer. But the businesses that never fail, they solve problems people can't ignore. Problems that make you reach for your phone at 2 a.m. Problems that bypass your rational brain entirely. Let me show you exactly how this works. Business number 1, plumbing and HVAC services. I know, you're already bored, but stick with me here because the numbers are insane. The average plumbing business in the United States has a failure rate of less than 5% over 5 years. Compare that to restaurants at 60% failure or retail stores at 53%. A master plumber in a mid-sized city can easily clear $150,000 to $300,000 per year. Some pull in over $500,000. But here's where it gets really interesting. The business model is almost stupidly simple. You solve immediate, unavoidable emergencies. When someone's basement is flooding at midnight, they're not price shopping. They're not reading Yelp reviews. They're calling whoever answers first and agreeing to whatever the invoice says. It's like having customers who've already decided to buy before they even know the price. And here's the kicker. The barrier to entry keeps competition artificially low. You need a license, which requires actual apprenticeship time. You can't just watch YouTube videos and hang a shingle like you can with social media marketing or life coaching. The result? Steady demand, limited supply, premium pricing, and businesses that print money in good times and bad. Now, you might be thinking, plumbing sounds terrible. Standing in other people's sewage, working weekends, dealing with emergencies. And yeah, it's not glamorous. But here's the thing. You're not building a lifestyle brand. You're building a cash-generating machine. After a few years, you hire technicians, you systematize everything, and you collect checks while other people do the wrench turning. I've seen this pattern 100 times in the books I review. Business number 2, waste management. Garbage collection, dumpster rentals, junk removal. This is peak boring. But here's what most people completely miss. Trash is the most reliable recurring revenue model on planet Earth. People and businesses generate waste every single day, no matter what the economy does. Recession? People still throw stuff away. Boom times? They throw away more stuff. The average waste management company operates on contracts. Monthly, quarterly, annual agreements with businesses and municipalities. That's guaranteed, predictable income. No chasing invoices, no wondering if customers will come back. They're locked in. And the profit margins? Brutal. Once you've got the routes established and the trucks paid off, you're collecting cash with minimal overhead. Here's a number that will blow your mind. The waste management industry in the US generates over $75 billion annually, and it's expected to keep growing at about 2 to 3% every year. Not sexy hockey stick growth, but reliable compound growth that never stops. Small operators in this space routinely sell their businesses for 3 to 5 times annual revenue when they retire. Show me a social media agency that can say the same. But here's where most people mess this up. They think small. They think one truck, hustling solo. The real money is in building routes, hiring drivers, and creating a system. It's not a job. It's an asset that generates income whether you're working or not. Business number 3, and this is where it gets almost funny how boring this is. Laundromats. I'm talking about the most passive, semi-boring business model ever created. You buy machines, you rent a space, you collect quarters and bills from people who have no other option. 70 million Americans use laundromats regularly because they don't have washers in their apartments. That's not a trend, that's infrastructure. The failure rate for laundromats is around 5%, and here's why. The operating costs are predictable and low. Rent, utilities, maintenance, occasional repairs. No inventory that goes bad, no employees if you set it up right. No chasing trends. You're selling a necessity. People need clean clothes. They can't opt out of laundry. I know someone who owns 4 laundromats. He spends maybe 5 hours a week managing them, and they generate about $180,000 per year in profit after all expenses. He bought the first one 10 years ago for $150,000. It paid for itself in under 3 years. Then he used the cash flow to buy the next one, then the next. It's the most boring wealth-building story I've ever seen, and it works precisely because it's boring. And this is something that will probably surprise you. The average American spends about $3,000 to $5,000 per year on laundry if they don't own machines. That's less than most people spend on streaming services and coffee, but it's non-negotiable spending. And during recessions, people actually use laundromats more because they're downsizing from houses to apartments. Business number 4, vending machines. Yes, I'm serious. Before you roll your eyes, hear me out. The vending machine industry in the United States pulls in about $8 billion per year, and the business model is beautiful in its simplicity. You place machines in high-traffic locations, you stock them weekly or bi-weekly, and you collect cash. The failure rate? Under 10% if you choose good locations. Here's the math that makes this work. A single well-placed vending machine can generate $300 to $500 per month in revenue. Your costs are maybe $150 to $200 for product and servicing. That's $100 to $300 profit per machine per month. Now scale that to 20 machines, 50 machines, 100 machines. You're not getting rich quick, but you're building passive income that compounds. And here's where it gets interesting. This business rewards patience and systems. You're not innovating, you're not disrupting, you're just putting Snickers bars and Coca-Cola in convenient places and taking a cut. It's so boring that most entrepreneurs don't even consider it, which is exactly why it works. Low competition, high demand, simple execution. But here's what most people don't realize. The best vending operators don't just do snacks. They diversify into coffee machines, healthy options, even electronics charging stations. They become essential infrastructure in office buildings, gyms, schools, and once you're in, you're sticky. Building managers don't want the hassle of replacing you. Business number 5, self-storage facilities. This one is fascinating because it preys on a very specific human tendency. We accumulate stuff we don't need but can't throw away. The self-storage industry is worth over $48 billion in the United States. Think about that number. $48 billion spent every year to store things people rarely even look at. The business model is insanely profitable. You build or buy a facility, you divide it into units, you rent them out monthly. The overhead is minimal. No employees needed beyond maybe one manager. No inventory. No complicated operations. Just rent collection and basic maintenance. And the kicker? Once someone moves their stuff in, they tend to keep paying for years. The average rental length is over 11 months, and many customers stay for multiple years. Here's the part that will blow your mind. The profit margins on self-storage can hit 60 to 70% once the facility is paid off. That's higher than almost any other real estate business. And occupancy rates stay strong even during recessions because people downsize from houses to apartments and need somewhere to put their extra furniture. I've seen business plans for self-storage facilities that show full payback in 7 to 10 years, followed by decades of cash flow. It's not exciting, there's no innovation, it's just boxes of metal on cheap land generating rent checks. But that's exactly why it works. Now, here's where most people mess this up, and I see it constantly. They think passive income means no work. But every single one of these businesses requires setup, systems, and management. The laundromat owner still has to monitor machines and collect money. The vending operator still has to restock and maintain relationships with location owners. The storage facility still needs bookkeeping and customer service. The difference is that the work doesn't scale linearly. You're not trading hours for dollars. You're building systems that generate income with decreasing effort over time. That's the shift. You're not buying a job. You're buying a cash-flowing asset. Business number 6, and this one might surprise you, pest control. Yeah, exterminators. The industry that deals with cockroaches, termites, bed bugs, and rodents. The failure rate is under 8%, and for good reason. Pests are not optional to deal with. When you have mice in your walls or termites eating your house, you're calling someone immediately. Price is secondary to the problem. The pest control industry generates about $20 billion annually in the US, and it's growing. And here's why this business is brilliant. It's subscription-based. Most pest control operates on monthly or quarterly contracts. You get one customer, you provide ongoing service, and they keep paying. That's recurring revenue. Predictable, stable, immune to economic swings. The average pest control business owner makes between $80,000 and $200,000 per year, depending on scale. And the startup costs are relatively low. A truck, some equipment, licensing, and marketing. You can launch for under $50,000 and be profitable within the first year if you execute correctly. But here's where it gets really interesting. This business has incredible word-of-mouth potential. When someone solves your pest problem, you tell your neighbors, you tell your family, you leave reviews. It's one of those services where results are obvious and immediate, which makes customer acquisition cheaper over time. Now, you might be thinking, all of this sounds great in theory, but what's the catch? And here's the thing. The catch is that these businesses require you to get comfortable with being bored. They require you to abandon the fantasy of being a visionary entrepreneur with a TED Talk and a book deal. You're not disrupting industries. You're solving unsexy problems for money. But something remarkable happens when you make that mental shift. You stop chasing validation and start chasing cash flow. You stop worrying about what looks good on LinkedIn and start building actual wealth. Because here's what nobody tells you. The most successful business owners you'll never hear about are the ones running boring businesses. They're not on podcasts. They're not writing threads on Twitter. They're just quietly collecting checks, hiring employees, systematizing operations, and building wealth that compounds year after year. The plumber with 8 trucks, the laundromat owner with 12 locations, the pest control operator with 30 technicians. These people have something most startup founders will never have: predictable profit. And here's the identity shift that matters. You're not just someone running a boring business. You've become the type of person who values results over recognition, the type who understands that wealth is built in the unsexy gaps that most people ignore, the type who can walk into a room full of entrepreneurs talking about their app ideas and podcasts, and you can smile quietly knowing your garbage trucks generated more profit last month than their content ever will. Here's what most people completely miss. Boring businesses give you something that sexy startups almost never do: freedom, financial freedom, time freedom, mental freedom. You're not lying awake wondering if your viral marketing campaign will hit. You're not stressing about the next funding round or product launch. You're just running a system that solves problems people can't avoid. The plumber doesn't worry about algorithm changes. The storage facility owner doesn't panic about new competitors disrupting the market. The vending machine operator doesn't lose sleep over brand positioning. They just execute, collect, and compound. But here's the warning. If you do decide to go this route, you have to resist the temptation to make it complicated. Don't rebrand your laundromat as a premium fabric care experience. Don't try to disrupt the pest control industry with an app. Don't overcomplicate the simple. That's where people fail. They take a boring, profitable model and they add layers of complexity to make themselves feel innovative, and they destroy the margins in the process. The beauty of boring businesses is their simplicity. Keep it simple, execute consistently, scale methodically. Don't chase trends, just solve problems, collect money, and build wealth. Your future self won't care that your business wasn't featured in Fast Company. They'll care that you built something sustainable, profitable, and boring enough to last decades. Start building today, because the businesses that never fail aren't waiting for the perfect moment. They're just solving problems nobody else wants to touch. Choose boring, build wealth, repeat.